Work package 2 is probably where we will need to start, is by looking around in the landscape, looking at what data sets are already available, what is the quality of these data sets, how can we approach these data sets, how can we access these data sets, and we're basically building an inventory, if you like, of where data sets sit. The legal context clearly is crucial. It will be important to govern all of the contracts around access to data, etc. I don't have to belabor too much on that, I assume. Architecture and solution development. If you look into the topic text, you will see that we haven't made too many claims about how the architecture should be developed. We're really looking at the input from the consortia there to come up with suggested architectures. Having said that, however, we would definitely like to leverage solutions that have been or that are under development or have already been developed in other IMI and maybe even other FP7 programs. So things like EHR4CR, we clearly believe that there are elements within that program that can serve very well in what we will need to build within EMIF. The same goes for the topic that you just heard around e-tricks. We also believe that there is potential value there in leveraging solutions that are built there. We certainly also see this as an environment where the different research topics will probably develop additional modules for the solution set, and we hope that they will indeed bring them back into the overall toolbox, if you like, of the horizontal solution set. Data protection and privacy and security. Yes, we definitely want to set up an infrastructure whereby we can have access to data in a privacy robust way, but where we also can go the other way around, where we can, through a reliable solution, not to say a trusted third-party structure, where we can go back to the data source and ask for additional information. As Peter will explain later, what we're looking at is through different research methodologies and through the consolidation of large data sets, is to identify certain subpopulations within a population, a patient population, and for those subpopulations we probably will want to need or will want to have additional data. Data preparation integration. Yes, again, if we want to achieve the research objectives, it's clear that EHR data alone will not be enough. We will need to be able to integrate imaging, lab data, genotype data, so a very rich and broad approach. And then analytical methodologies. Again, here that will be depending really on what the research topics want, and we should be able to also develop maybe new approaches around analytics. Now, what are we expecting? Well, the ideal consortium would clearly bring access to patient-level data, to data sources, both adult and pediatric, and if possible, also access to patients themselves in the second phase of the research, as just explained. Clearly, there is a lot of planning, design, and execution activities. So the whole governance and the strong program management capabilities would be really great. Now, expertise and capabilities clearly in evaluating patient health data quality. Again, that will be one of the first steps, is to identify where is the data and of what quality is that data. Of course, health-related research informatics, it's clear that's what the project is all about. Linkage, so semantic interoperability is definitely a skill and an expertise that we would be looking into. Overall data management and analysis, and then again also the governance around how do you govern patient-level health data. Now, what will the FPA consortium bring? Well, given that we're also looking at the development of a business model around this, we are definitely also going to bring business acumen to this program. One of the things that we probably will have to do is develop a clear vision. I mean, as was mentioned this morning in the opening statement, this is a project that is part of the Think Big. So we really have big ambitions for this program, but it's clear that we need to start very specifically. So we will have to clearly identify the roadmap from where we are starting now with these two concrete research projects and the horizontal layer. But how is this vision going to further build? So what are the steps along the road, and how do we see this thing ultimately developing? Program management, overview of existing networks, available data. We can bring legal support, experience in working with ethical committees, of course. Leverage from other IMI programs. Again, I mentioned EHR4CR, ETRIX, but clearly also others. We have expertise in data management and data standards. There is expertise in IT architectures that we can bring to this program. Clearly, we also have epidemiological expertise and expertise in analysis of longitudinal patient records. Well, we also have analytical tools that we might also think of embedding within the EMIF framework. With this, I'd like to hand over back to Peter, who will take us through the research projects.